Good evening and welcome to tonight's webinar. My name is Pete Stolzers. I'm the founder of 1Option. And for recording purposes, I'd like to state that it is April Fools. It is April the 1st, Wednesday evening. We're going to be taking a look at the website that I just launched. This has been about 6 months in the making. From the time that the trading system was launched, I knew that I wanted to go with a very, very simple model. And the first video on the home page pretty much says it all. Make money today. In fact, you'll notice that every single page on the website starts off with a video. There may be 1 minute to 2 minutes long, but they'll walk you through the various steps. For those of you who are existing customers, you've probably already spent some time on the site, but I want to go through the process for those of you who are new to 1Option. The model is simple. You pick the symbols that you want. We give you ample opportunity to test symbols, test stocks that are in your portfolio. We've got some lists that you can use to find excellent candidates. And then finally, you subscribe to exactly the symbols that you want. So the first step is to test your symbols. So on this page, you'd want to come in and start entering the stocks that you follow. Now, I do need to point one thing out. You're not going to see trade signals for the last 30 days. Those are blocked for obvious reasons. If I showed you that information, I wouldn't have a subscription model. You just come to the page and take a look at everything, including the signals that just triggered. So please keep in mind, you can go back over almost 20 months worth of data. The system's been running since May of 2013, and the easiest way to navigate, you can use these buttons down below and you can make the bars larger and smaller. But the easiest way to go back and look is just click down on the chart and drag it. So fast. You can go back and look at all the trade signals. So I've got Apple currently loaded, and we've done very well with Apple. You can see the statistics. We're up about 47% versus 66% for buy and hold. But Apple's been on a rocket shot, and we don't hold over earnings. And there have been a lot of earnings spikes that we've missed out on, but that's okay. I don't want the risk. So when we are on a trade, and for most of you, you're probably trading options, when you go from 108 up to 119, that is a beautiful trade. Let me also point one other thing out to you. The system doesn't have a target profit. Okay, it's going to let the position run until we either stop out, and you'll see a lot of times the stop is almost always right when we get into the position, because we want to make sure that we're protecting our capital on the entry. But once the position starts moving in our favor, we're going to stick with it until we get a sell signal. So classic example, you get a fantastic buy signal on Apple, and you're going to find the entry signals are incredibly good. And if that's all you did was trade the entry and look for signs of slowing momentum and exit, you're going to make a killing. You're going to do so much better than our P&L. But I didn't want to have target profit set because it complicates the system. The more rules you start adding to it, the more complicated it is, the less likely it is to work long term. So once you're in a great position and you're making money, profit management's the easiest part. So here you've got a huge winner in Apple. It's about a $10 run in 2 weeks. And you start crowning and you get a big down day, you've got to get out. I mean, when that stock gives up $5 in a day, and it looks like it was even worse intraday, you got to get out. You've got a nice winner. Don't let it turn into a loser. Well, the system gets out right here, and it actually goes short. So if you waited from here to here, you gave back almost all of your profits. But the P&L is going to show in here and out here. So I know on every stock that we look at tonight, once you're in the trade, the momentum starts to slow, take profits. At least take partial profits. You don't have to completely get out of the position. Here's another gorgeous entry on Apple. Apple has very low option implied volatilities. That means the options are cheap and you can buy at the money options. I think the implied volatility for Apple is somewhere in the 23, 24 range. It's cheap by any standard. So you can buy those options and there you get a 12, we're at 112, stock's down to 106. There you actually do get a buy signal. So that's huge money. That is huge money. 113 down to 106, that's a $6 move. If you're trading at the money front month options, that's a 100% winner. Easy. You get a nice gorgeous move here too, exactly the opposite, about another $6 move. I mean, you can go in and scalp this thing all day long, trading in 2-3 day increments. Another nice entry right there, gets stopped out right in here before earnings, but that was a nice short as well. I talked about us missing earnings gaps. Well, that's an earnings gap right there. We're out of the position before the announcement. Look at that winner right in there. That's from 119 up to about 129. Get a short, and we stop out instantly on the short. So let me tell you what the arrows mean as you're looking at charts. A red arrow means we are going short. A blue arrow means we're stopping out. If by chance you have a green arrow, no blue arrow in between, you go right from a green arrow to a red arrow, it means we exited the long position and we pivoted. We went right from being long to being short. Okay, so we stop out the next day when the stock gap's higher, and I'd mentioned to you that we're very tight on our stops on the entry. And then you don't get to see what happened with Apple for the last 30 days if you're visiting the website. But the point is, you can go in and you can check every one of your stocks and see how they've performed using the system. And again, keep in mind, I know you can do a lot better than the system just by using basic profit management skills. And profit management is, I'm on the right side of the trade, I'm making a lot of money, the stock is starting to slow down, get out. Or let's say the market's falling apart and you're long calls. Take your profits. My God, if you just kept taking profits on these signals, you'd do great. So that's the test page. And the charts are nice and big. Again, just click down and you can move back and forth and go back as far as you'd like. Check all of your portfolio. And then you can come to the find page. Again, video at the top explains exactly what you should be doing, exactly what you should be looking for. And you come in and you'll notice that we've already got some lists set up for you. So favorite number one, I'm just going to click on the symbol and that'll load the chart. And since we've got Netflix up, let's take a look at some of the Netflix signals. Same deal. Netflix actually has higher option implied volatilities. It's been my favorite stock for the last 18 months to sell premium on. When I get a signal like that, a buy signal, I'm selling out of the money put spreads. When I get a signal like that, I'm going to sell an out of the money call spread on it. Okay, so pretty easy. You break through horizontal resistance right there, you're buying back that call spread. And the stock continues to go higher because we've stopped out. But if you look at some of these trade signals like this and you were just buying options, you absolutely could have done fine as well. Very nice short here at 368. There's where I would have been out. You got great profits, no signs of trouble the whole way until you get, boom, this huge up day. I'm going to get out on that. I've got great profit in it already. System gets us out just a little bit later. This is another classic. So you have the stock dropping after earnings announcement. Buy signal. Well, that was from 355 up to almost 400. That was a 40-point move in the stock. And then you go nowhere. Get out. Take your profits. Don't let it roll over like that. And now we're out basically where we got in. And unfortunately for the P&L, I mean, I'd love to make my P&L look as great as possible, believe me, because then I could attract a lot more subscribers. But I don't want to complicate the system, especially when it's just easy profit taking that needs to take place on your end. So you get out here, you make great money, you move on to the next trade. Beautiful short in there. Come down in here, you start to stall out. Whoop, starting to rally. Oh, there we got a gap higher. You got to be out right there. Now in this case, it does roll over and we get out before earnings, but I wouldn't be waiting around. I'd be locking in my money right there. In fact, if I were selling an out of the money call spread right there, I'm a very happy camper just a few days later, even those options will start getting drained. Gorgeous entry on next Netflix right there. Actually, just perfect exit as well. And you're long here. Stock is stalling out. We're starting to get a little heavy in here, starting to see some red candles. I wouldn't even wait for that short. I'd be taking profits in here, and then you get the double bonus of a short signal up here. So you get that beautiful short in there. So go through the lists, and you can see the performance here for the system relative to buy and hold. And this is important, but it's not critical. I mean, it's nice to see us trounce a buy and hold strategy, but there are a lot of times where you're going to find the stock, our system is performing really, really well. It's just that we've missed some really big earnings announcements and we've been on the sidelines. So our performance is less impressive relative to buy and hold just because of those earnings announcements, but we haven't been in the trade very much at all and the signals are still valid. Also make sure that you take a look at the system performance and see if there are a lot of instances where the stock is trending, but the system didn't get us out in time where you could be making money. So those are key components to evaluating. Now, when you see a red 47.24%, I'm going to change this because that makes you think that we're down 47%. We're not. We've just outperformed buy and hold is what the red signifies. So it's a little bit misleading. We'll continue to take a look. Google's been another great one for those of you who like to trade for, swing trades 2 or 3 days. You can go back and see gorgeous entry there. Boom, boom, boom. Nice little short in there. Great long right in there. Short entry and stop. Get long and stop the next day. Good thing. That's why we're very protective right in the beginning. So you can go through the favorite number 1 and favorite number 2 lists. These are just some of the really great stocks that I like to trade as far as the system's concerned, and go through each one of them and take a look at how the system has performed. Boeing, 145, really it gets up to 158. Huge winner right there. We do get out pretty soon, but man, when you get a blow off like that, you got to be looking to take profits because those usually will retrace, and it did in this case. So go through these lists, and then also for those of you who like to trade stocks, and I'm going to log in a little bit later and I'll show you. These stocks are just incredible. I mean, look at these percent gains on the stocks. These are stocks under $5. All you got to do is hit a couple of these and there's just a gorgeous entry right there at $2.75 and you're out at 468. You catch one of those, that's all it takes. And it only costs you $3,000. I know a lot of people like trading these lower price stocks, and you got to wonder, did we catch this? It's got me wondering right now. So we'll take a look at some of these cheap stocks because this is a really good. Now, once they get down below $5, I got to be honest with you, I don't do a whole lot of shorting, but I'd love to know if we caught some of this move in here. I suspect that we have. So I'm going to take a look at the cheap stocks in a minute when I log in. And we'll take a look at some of these others as well. High implied volatility, that's what this means. So these stocks have high option implied volatilities, and that makes them well suited for selling credit spreads. So you get a buy signal right in here. Obviously, you would have done fine buying calls on that as well, but this is where you'd want to go in and sell a credit spread, put credit spread, excuse me. You've got moderate implied volatility. Here you could be a buyer or a seller. These are in the 30% range. And then you've got low option implied volatility stocks in here. Now, tonight, I'm going to show you 5 stocks that I think you should have in your list. And they're specifically for option buyers. And the reason for that is that they have low option implied volatilities, and these stocks trend very nicely, and they're at an extreme on the range. So let me take you through the third step here, which is buy. When you're ready to subscribe and you've got your symbols picked out, it's easy. You just start entering them here, and so you can put in Apple and Baxter and whatever you want, and you can see how much the subscription is going to cost you. Right now, the symbols cost $19.95 per symbol per quarter. And there is a bonus, and these are some of my best symbols because they're the most liquid ETFs in the world. SPY, QQQ, DIA, IWM. These are all stock ETFs, and they cover you from Russell 2000 to S&P 500 tech stocks in the Dow. And then there are also 2 other symbols, which actually I've got a typo here. You should see TLT and GLD. So TLT is the 10-year US bond, and GLD is gold. Both of those have done incredibly well. So those are bonus symbols. You can't buy them. They're only given to you if you have subscribed to 15 or more symbols. So for those of you who have been longer term subscribers, you're getting an awful lot for a $300 subscription. You're getting 6 ETFs and 15 stock symbols. And under the old pricing model, that would have cost you over $1,000 a quarter. Now you can get it for $300 a quarter. So I hope you take advantage of this introductory price. And the nice thing is that once you are signed up, if you don't like a symbol, you can change it. So I advocate dynamically changing your symbols. Do you have to do it every day? No. But once a week, you're home on the weekend, do your research, see if your stocks are moving. If they're really flatlining, that's a great time to come in and change them. And so again, here I've got a video, and there's a checkout page. When you click subscribe, you'll actually have another video there that tells you exactly how to go in and how to manage your account. And I'm going to do that in a couple of minutes here. I want to show you that in the upper right corner, you've got live help. That's a FAQ page. If you ever need to reach me during market hours, you can click here. I'm always around during the first 3 hours of trading. After that, I may or may not be available. But you can always get me during the first 3 hours of trading. This is a fantastic resource, this demo button right here. And there are a couple reasons that I want to bring this to your attention. One is it tells you everything on how to get started. Again, these are the videos that are at the top of each web page. They're brief and they're concise. They're 2 minutes long, but it tells you exactly what you need to do to navigate the website, to get your account set up, to change symbols. And if you continue to scroll down, you're going to see a lot of other videos that'll help you identify stocks. So if you're an investor, how do you pick those types of symbols? If you like trading reversals, what should you be looking for? What kind of stocks should you be adding to your lists? Breakouts, profit management. I've talked a little bit about that tonight. This will help you, this video. and then how to pick the best stocks based on your trading profile. I've talked about selling credit spreads. Well, what kind of stocks should you be looking for? I've got a video on the platform, and the one thing that I did not do on the website was to get into the platform. I found that it complicated the process. People would be asking me, what is the platform? Do I have to have the platform? How much is the platform? Do I get all the signals with the platform? All of those types of questions kind of obscure the simplicity of the website, which is sign up for the symbols you want, get really good trade signals. The platform is awesome. I'm not going to cover the platform at all tonight, but when you do subscribe to the platform, the symbols that you have on the website will actually be, you'll be able to see them in the platform as well. And then there's the scanner, which is an add-on to the platform. And finally, you've got the brokerage interface. When you sign up for symbols, you get the platform. If you're an Interactive Brokers customer, you can automate the trades for every single stock or option that you want to trade in the platform. And so when I was mentioning earlier, if it's stocks that you like to trade, you set up your symbol lists, you get an account with Interactive Brokers, you can have it automated. So in 2 minutes every day, you log in, you say, I want to spend $5,000 per trade on any symbol that is triggered, trade's going to auto execute. This is a really important link down here because tomorrow you're going to see a video right here and it's going to have today's date in it. So if you want to watch tonight's webinar again, please come to the demo page, upper right hand corner, scroll down, and you'll see it posted with today's date. So this is a really nice resource. I plan to add to these videos here. So it'll be, I'll just keep building onto it. I'll have different categories and there'll be some educational content there as well. So let's log in and let's see what that looks like. So once I've logged in, let's say that I go to, I'm going to go right to the My Stocks page. I'll be able to see a variety of different lists at the top. So again, I'm logged in. I'm going to the My Stocks page. This is my war chest. Okay, these are all the stocks that I have in this list that I designated for tonight. And when you come in, you'll see the entries for the stocks in that list. You'll see the exits, and you'll see the open positions. I can click through and I can see each one of them. So I just clicked on ACAM, and you can see here that the system got short. This is not one of the stocks I'm highlighting, okay? But I do like this short. I love this compression. First of all, stock rallies up. For those of you who like trading reversals, stock rallies up, has a difficult time advancing. We get a breakout to a new relative high, but you'll see that this distance right here from the old high is very, very small. So it was able to get about $1 higher than the prior high before it rolls over and generates a sell signal. This is what I call a failed breakout because it wasn't able to hold that breakout. And now you can see how the stock rallied a little bit this week, and it wasn't able to get back above that breakout, and now it's backing off again. I like this sell signal in here. I think this is going to be a nice trade, especially if it gets down below $69. So if you like being in early, here's how I would approach it. I'd be getting short in here, and I'd use that entry as a stop. The system will stop it if it rallies above our entry anyway. But I'd get in here, launch the stock. If it comes down below here, I would start adding to the position. You've already got a winner on. I don't mind adding to the winner, and then if this gets breached, you're going to make really nice money. So let me talk a little bit about list management, because this is one that I created, and I can go in and create a variety of other lists. This one I called ETF Trader, and I only have one position for all the stocks that are in this list. Well, how the heck am I supposed to know what I got in that list? I can't remember what I had for lunch today. How am I supposed to remember what's in the list? Well, if you click this drop-down menu and you go to Manage, and I'll do that again in just a second, I can see each one of my lists here and I can edit them. Okay, so for ETF Trader, I've got QQQ, GLD, SPY, and TLT. Well, let's say that I want to add DIA, and this account is over the 15 symbol limit. So why don't I just add Diamond and Russell 2000, and I'll click Save. And now I've got 6 symbols in that list. If I want to, I can also delete the list and start over. So if I want to, and I've got this list right here, and let's say, well, I don't really want to have KR in there anymore. I'll just delete it out, save it. I don't want Exxon. Oil stocks are weak. Save it. So now when I go into the My Stocks area, I'll be able to take a look at it and see if ETF Trader had anything new in it. It actually did have some activity in IWM and in DIA, and so that shows up instantly. So Diamond, we entered a short position. Exit today, we exited a long position in SPY and a long position in IWM. And there's our open position on TLT. And if I'd like, I can come down here, I'll click on TLT, and it'll show me the entry and exit arrows for the symbols that I'm subscribed to. I can also go to other resources in the website and do the same. So again, just click down and you'll be able to scroll back and forth. TLT has been one of my favorite things to trade because the bonds have been moving. And so on TLT, you can see that the system's actually picked very, very good entry points. Again, a little bit of profit management for myself. We come down, we form a base, we can't get through it, we start to rally off of it. I'm out right in here. You can see that actually staying with the position was good for a while, but ultimately we got out right at about the level I would have been out at anyway. This is a nice entry in here. Once I've got 50, 60, 70% of profit in an option position, I'm happy. I'm out. I'll at least scale out a half of the position and then I'll let the rest run. It's very easy to manage that way. If I get on a really big runner, I'll be honest with you, I would not have caught that whole move. I would have been in right here. I'd have been taking profits in here. And then when I saw it come back up and still on that same buy signal in here on a breakout, then I would have been back on that signal. But again, that's just me. Some of you might like to take positions and hang on to them for a longer period of time. I don't mind being in and out as long as I can consistently make money in the trade. That's all I'm really after. And I think you'll find that these trade signals are deadly accurate for the entry points. So I was talking about how to manage your lists and that they would appear in this drop down right here. And you use this manage selection at the very bottom to add a new list. When you do that, you can name it hot. Doesn't matter what you name it, and anything that'll help you remember what might possibly be in that list. And then I'm just going to add Google, for instance. And this is all just comma separated. And then when I come back into my stocks, I'll see it listed. Now, for those of you who do have the platform, Any list that you've created here will appear in the platform under the heading Systems. So if you clicked on Systems, you'd see all of these listed. All of your symbol management for those systems is going to take place on the website. And the reason for that is I wanted to centralize the list management. So if you're on the road and you're not able to log into the platform, you can use your cell phone, bring up the lists, and see what kind of activity has been taking place. I also should mention that the website is very mobile friendly. So this chart doesn't look particularly good, but you can remember you can use these plus and minus buttons down here below to increase the bar size. And same thing on your phone, you just drag across, and that way you can go in and take a look at the charts that way. But it looks great on a cell phone. Obviously, you'd have to scroll up and down to see your lists, but it's user friendly. And then this is where you would use the navigation for this little crossbar area will show you the different selections that you can make. So now when you're on the road, you'll be able to still keep up with what's going on from a trading standpoint. In the account area, and actually I would need to log into another account, so I'm going to log out. I'm going to log into one where I don't have all of the various symbols, and I'm going to go into account. For some of you, this is what your account screen would look like. And this is where you can change your symbols. So let's say that I come in and I decide that Cisco is just not working for me. It's dead wood. And maybe I want to add Intel. So I'm going to click change. And then you can see that it's asking me, well, what do you want to change it to? I'm going to enter Intel. And so now that's going to be the new symbol. Do you want to change to Intel? Yes, I do. So these changes will take place overnight, and then the next day you'll be able to come in and see all the information and the trade signals on Intel. Also in your account area, you'll see text alerts. So this is where you can enter your email, enter your cell phone carrier, and then your phone number without the 1 in front of it. If you want alerts for every symbol that you're subscribed to, don't put anything in this box. Just click update and you'll be getting text alerts 1 hour after the open, and you'll know what the activity is. It'll say entry long, exit long, entry short, exit short. So you'll know what's taking place. And it's also a reminder to come back to the website to see what's going on. I still think the web tables are visually easier to track what's actually happening. If you wanted to limit the symbols that you're getting alerts on, you can do that here as well, especially if you've got a lot of symbols that you've subscribed to, and there may only be 10 that you're really focused on. Well, then you can type the 10 in here, comma separated, and you'll only get alerts if there's activity in those 10. So I didn't mention how to cancel, but that's easy. Just cancel right here. And let's say that I want to cancel Ford. I click cancel. And now you can see I'm not going to be rebilled for Ford. I have 86 days left. I can follow Ford for those 86 days. And if I want, I can reactivate the subscription. So it's very easy to manage your selections as well in the website. So let me go to the Find page. Actually, I'm going to log out. And I want to log in because I have an account that has every symbol. And I do have a subscription for every symbol. And the price for the subscription is $599 per quarter. and you have access to everything. I don't even put it on my website because the only people interested in that are very active traders and people who have used the system for a while and know how reliable the signals are. So I really don't even discuss it very much on the website. If you're interested in getting all of the symbols, send an email to info@1option.com tonight, and I'll also set you up with the platform and the scanner free for the first quarter. So it's a really good deal. It's an extra $160 worth of product, and adding the platform to the equation, look in the demo area and you'll see how powerful that combination is. It's really, really good. I know many of you on board tonight, you've got the platform, you've got the scanner, you've got all the symbols. It's really slick. It's so easy to find great trading opportunities each day. I'm going to go into the Find page here, and I want to take a look at some of those cheap stocks. It intrigued me. I was wondering if we caught that move right in here. Well, kind of. You know, we're in, even if you're on a $3 stock, if you're catching, 20 cents out of the move, those are all pretty nice little moves in there. But I'm just going to see what else we've got working in here. I can't short a stock at $1.65. So if I'm buying any of these symbols, and if the stock is down below $5, I'm just looking for buys. Okay, there's a gorgeous buy at 78 cents to $1.21. You're just waiting for these things to hit. So right here is, I would definitely subscribe to this symbol. I don't even know what DXM is, but I'll tell you, it's a really nice short. The system's done incredibly well on it, and I love stocks that have fallen like that and are starting to form a base, because when it starts to reverse, this could be a 50-cent move easily, because it's moved so far, so fast. And so you can go through and just click on some of these different, this stock actually great short up in here. Now you've got support at 241. If it comes back down to 241 and can't take out that support level, and you get a buy signal in here, I'd be all over that too. So I'm just showing you that you don't necessarily have to. There's a great long right there. You're in at 147 and it goes up to 233. My God. So take a look at some of these lower price stocks. I mean, there's some great opportunities. You don't have to trade options. And here's one that's done unbelievably well, and it's come down to the support level. It's starting to take back off again, JDST. So look at the stock lists as well, and go back and take a look at the trades, get comfortable with it. If you've got your own searches that you happen to use, and you found stocks that have been beaten down and they're cheap and you think they're forming a base, come in and use this system on the find page. See how it's done historically. Use the test page. And then decide, hey, you know what? When this thing does finally get off the deck, I want to be on board for that buy signal. Subscribe to the symbol. It costs you 20 bucks. If it's a $2 stock that goes to $2.50 or $3, believe me, it's $20 well spent. And so now let's take a look at 5 stocks that I like for buying options. So I went through and I took a look at some of my favorites. I'm also looking for situations. I like stocks, for instance, that have fallen, are forming a base, and now I get a buy signal. I'm very confident when I can get on board something that's fallen hard and it's starting to rally, which, by the way, one more point. Earnings season's coming up. Let's say that you get a stock that is absolutely pounded, but you like the number. Revenues were up, profits were up. The stock had just gotten ahead of itself into the earnings report, and so it gets nailed. You get those big gap downs, you might want to come in and sign up for that symbol on the system, because when you get that bounce, you're going to get a buy signal and you're going to have a really nice opportunity to catch that bounce. That's another good thing that you can do. And I'll probably do a video on that, especially as earnings season is unfolding. But in any case, I would much rather buy once support has been established than I would be to try and short something in here. So here's one of my current favorites. And this is one of the 5 that I think you should have on your list. So if you're thinking, gee, I'd like to sign up for some symbols with 1Option, AXP should be on your list. It's done really, really well as far as the system's concerned. Gorgeous short in here from 82 down to 78. These options are cheap. It trades with an implied volatility somewhere in the 20 range. Now, I don't like this short. I like the long that's setting up in here. So we've got banks starting to announce earnings in 2 weeks. I think that this stock has been buried. It could run up ahead of earnings announcements, and I like it on the support level, but I got to see the buy signal. We don't have one yet. Take a look at another stock. I also like the fact, let me stay on AXP for a second. This stock also tends to make very nice sloping moves. I mean, this is just a gorgeous long in here. Again, starting to falter, taking profits in here. I don't care, personally, I don't care that I missed this. When it starts to roll over and I've got this on the table, I'm not going to let that slip away. Okay, that's from $82 to $90. That's a huge move. That's a triple probably in these options. Gorgeous short in there. AXP, I absolutely love it. And so these nice long rolling trends are also what you want to look for. And you'll see those in my favorite lists. Merck, really nice short up in there. We get out on earnings, but the stock continues to fall. We've done well on Merck, and these options are also very cheap. So the stock pulls back, establishes support, and now it's starting to roll over in here with the recent market weakness. Healthcare sector has been pretty strong. I'd like to see it find support in here. You're getting it down on the bottom of that range. You get a buy signal in here. This is another one that I'd want to have. Now we'll take a look at Boeing. Boeing, stock rallies up. We catch a nice part of that move in here, and then we get a little bit chopped up in here. I'd mentioned to you a few minutes ago, I don't want to be buying up in here. If I get a stock that's consolidated for a while and it blows through, okay, I can embrace that. I'm good with that. But otherwise, until I get that big breakout, I don't want to mess around with it. I don't like buying calls up in here. It seems like I'm always the last guy in the trade when you're right in here looking for a breakout. So I've just learned over the years, don't trade it. However, that definitely interests me. I get to short the stock up near the high of the range. I'm all over it. You can see that turned out to be a nice short. System got long. We're making money on that long. Here's the punchline. I would subscribe to Boeing because it's done well. I personally would be more intrigued with a short signal that would come in now, because I think that this stock has a very good chance of rolling over, and I like shorting up near the high end of the range. We can go back, take a look. Nice rolling moves. Beautiful long right in there. Okay. Cheap options on Boeing too. So it goes from 124 to 135, starts to roll over a little bit. Well, I'd be taking profits, but we get a short here too. Awesome. Beautiful short. take profits right in there. You get that gap back up. Man, don't let that thing come all the way back. So I hope I'm impressing the profit taking part upon you. The signals are fantastic. You've just got to do a little bit of management on your part. So take profits. Uh, Another stock that I like. So we've got 3 in the bag right now. ComEd. Done really well on this stock. Now this is a utility, so it doesn't go anywhere fast. But when it does get on a trend, it tends to trend for a long time. And so for those of you who like buying longer term options and sticking with a position for a long time, this would be a good one. And as good as this trade looks, remember it went from 63 to 71, so it's about a $7 move, but it took 2-3 months to unfold. These options are super, super cheap. Okay, so you're going to be buying at the money options with a very high delta with very little option implied volatility. So even though it's only a $7 move, these options are going to really take off. And again, here you go. You run up, you get a big move on a utility and you start pulling back like this. I'm out. I'm taking profits. I can't even think about getting back in unless it's right up in here. But that short, I'm all over that short. Okay. So Ed is another one that I like. But I like it not on this short. I want to see a buy arrow in here, and then I really like it. And I think that you're starting to see the TLT move higher. And I think people are realizing that interest rates, even though the Fed has the ability to hike rates, they're probably not going to do that for a while. And if that fear starts to subside, you're going to start to see utility stocks rally back. So you're getting it at a really good price. So Ed, Commonwealth Edison, is another one that I would put on that list. And I'll give you my 5th one. Newmont Mining. Done really well on Newmont. Beautiful short in there. You're coming down, and if this support is taken out, stock falls below it, well, you got to get on board that short. But I am, again, a little bit more interested in letting it run its course and getting long. So if this support holds in here and we get a buy signal, I'd be okay with that. I would get on board that because the stock's fallen from 26 down to 22. That's a big move for that stock. And these options also are very cheap. And gold is starting to find its footing right now. So I think that this could be a really nice long, but you got to make sure that this support is going to hold up. If it breaks, I'd follow that short first, and then I'd get long. So we had American Express, AXP, Merck, MRK, Boeing, BA, NEM, Newmont Mining, and Commonwealth Edison. Those are in these lists here and there. Some of them are, some of them aren't. But I think all of those from an option buying perspective would be fantastic. And a lot of these little $5 stocks, these are like buying an option, except you own the underlying company. It's a great way to make some fast money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to conclude this part of the presentation, and I'm going to answer some questions. In future webinars, I'm going to go through and look at some of the high implied volatility stocks, and we'll take a look at doing credit spreads on some of these candidates, and I'll show you how to structure those positions and what to look for. I'm also going to do some on these low price stocks, how to identify them, and then which symbols look to be the most attractive. So each week I'll try and show you how to pick symbols that are good for your personal trading style. So let me see if I can answer some questions here. And if you give me just a minute. Would I recommend putting a full list in a watch list? You actually, every symbol that you're subscribed to is going to appear in a list. And in this drop down, when you log in, it's going to say all of the symbols I'm subscribed to. So when you go to my stocks, the first thing you see is going to be all of the symbols that you subscribe to. But once you start navigating, that list disappears. I'm going to have my programmers make sure that that shows up so you can select it from the drop down. And actually, I think it does appear for everyone else's account, but because I have all symbols, it doesn't provide me with that choice. Otherwise, it'd be it'd be a very, very, very long list of 3,000 symbols. So anyone else that's got, say, 15 or 30 symbols or so, you're going to have that list. Are these signals triggered by end of day data and where it opens the following day? All of the trade signals are generated overnight. We run all the different trading algorithms. And so about 4 hours or so before the open, we know that there's a trigger for an underlying stock. However, we wait for that first hour to see if the stock is moving our way. If it is, so if the stock is higher than the opening price and it's a bullish signal, the system will take the signal. But it's only evaluated one time, and that's 1 hour after the open, and it's based off of the opening price. And during that first hour period, we're also evaluating the stop. So yes, all the algorithms are run overnight, and because of the rule, there's a rule base that manages the trade for the stop and for the trade confirmation. Am I thinking of shorting Boeing because it follows the market? The market's very choppy in here, and that's a great question. Personally, I think the market's just going to go all over the place for the next few weeks. I think that we'll probably see a little bit of an earnings rally as we go into earnings season because the strongest companies announce early. And that always gets a little bit of excitement going. But toward the middle of April, I start getting pretty bearish. I've been bearish on the market for, oh gosh, more bearish than I have been in years. And I'd say probably in January, I started to see some things that were very troubling. And so I'm more inclined to go short than long, but I'm not going to be picking a market top. For me to get aggressive with my shorts, I've got to see us close below the 200-day moving average consistently. Until then, every bounce is just a buying opportunity, and we could stay in this range for a while. So no, I wouldn't think so much about shorting Boeing because it's a surrogate market component. I'm more into it because I'm getting a trade signal. It's run up to the top of the range, and I'm starting to get some short signals on it. If the market does roll over and the stock's already showing signs of strain, it's going to fall very, very quickly. And I think even without help from the market, it might struggle to hold this level. Brent, your shorts came in today on Boeing. Good. Uh, the whole market, at the beginning of the week, I just scratched my head and went, what the heck? We had that big rally on Monday and it looked like we were in go-go mode. I didn't buy it, not for a second. And so now the last 2 days we've retraced, and guess where we closed today? Right at the 100-day moving average. Les, what is the price of the platform? I'll show you where you can subscribe to the platform. I'm going to go into the demo area. I'm going to scroll down to those platforms, and you can subscribe right here. Price of the platform is $59.95 per quarter. If you have an interactive broker's account, you can interface and pull in live quotes. Otherwise, it's all end of day, but the platform's awesome. All I can say is just go in and look at everything that it offers. I post my market comments every morning, an hour, not an hour. They're out before the open. That's all I can say. Sometimes they're an hour before the open. Sometimes they're half an hour before the open. But my market comments will keep you on the right side of the action. And all these videos will tell you everything you wanted to know about the platform, how to use it, what the features are, how they work. And then here's the scanner, and then there's the brokerage interface and how to configure it. Which I should mention, I'm currently working on interfacing with another brokerage firm, and there's a very good chance that, well, their commissions are phenomenal, better even than IB, that they will be offering the platform free. So you open an account with them, you can get the platform free with real-time quotes. Pretty exciting. What is the average amount of time that no, Martha, it's not think or swim. I'm done with those folks. Um, what is the average time for the options before they expire? Depends a little bit upon the underlying stock, and that'll be a future video that I do. When I showed you Commonwealth Edison, you could see how you could stick with that position for a very, very long time because the stock tends to trend uh, very nicely. But if you're looking at other stocks like Google, you're only in that trade for a few days. So let me bring up Google. Really has to do with the character of the stock. I mean, here you're in for a few days and it rolls over. Google's gone nowhere fast for many years. Really nice trade in there, but you're in and out after a few days. Big dollar moves, but not big percentage moves. Where Commonwealth Edison, you got those really nice long moves. Here you can plan on being in the trade for maybe a few weeks. So you've got to give yourself the time. And instead of buying front month options on something like this, you probably want to go out 2 or 3 months and make sure that you don't have exposure to time decay. Good question, though. What if you only trade options on QQQ and SPY for the most part? You'd still need to subscribe to the 15 symbols. I can almost assure you that if you just traded QQQ and SPY, the $300 that you're paying will be way worth the subscription. Made great money on those two instruments. So everything else is a bonus. Put in the symbols, track them. You're going to find some great stock trades along the way as well. So it's just the pricing model that I had decided on. I had contemplated charging a premium for those ETFs, and I thought, no, it just complicates the model. Here's what I want to be able to get monetarily for those symbols. So here, you have this many stock symbols, you get those gratis. But we've done great on QQQ and SPY. I've hit incredible trades. How often do we update the favorites list? Jason, it's just me personally going in and taking a look at stocks that I've been trading and stocks that I like that are setting up well and are trending well and have the nice tight patterns that I'm looking for and have some pace to them. So probably once every 2 weeks or so, I'll go in and review them and make some updates and changes to them. But this list is manual. Favorite number 1, favorite number 2. Those are manual. Everything else though is automated. Would using the high IV be the best for day trading options versus swing trading? Um, Boy, that's a kind of a tough question. Day trading options can be pretty tough. When you get into high implied volatility options, they're oftentimes very wide in terms of bid-ask spreads. I'd almost argue that you want to stick with low implied volatility options or moderately priced implied volatility options. When you're day trading, the the critical thing is you got to have a tight bid-ask spread. Okay, you cannot be giving up a nickel or a dime in and out and expect to make any money day trading options. It's very hard. So um, Apple has been a great stock. It's got fairly low option implied volatilities. It trades in penny increments. So that's been a really good stock to day trade. If you are a day trader, and let me also qualify this, if you are a day trader and this is what you're doing professionally, you should really get all the symbols. You should get the platform. You should get the scanner. I can show you how to find day trading opportunities galore. It takes me 5 minutes. And in fact, I send a video out to subscribers in that elite group. I send a video out every week and I go through the process and maybe, 5 or 10 minutes, there's the trade. Actually, the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've been sending out an email highlighting trades that I'm in, and they've worked out really well. So again, if you're interested in getting the whole shebang, please send me an email at info@1option.com or click live help. I'll be around tonight. I'll be rendering this video. You click it right here and I'll tell you all about it and I'll get you set up and I'll include the platform and the scanner free. Is the gain that we show for the past 12 months? It is actually since inception in May of 2013. And Lane, you're asking, I can't quite see your question. Charting program recommendation. You used to use TC2000. I think TC2000's got a nice interface. It looks good. I prefer my platform, quite honestly. I don't need, it's got probably 90 or more technical indicators. It's got the basics. And again, go into the demo area here. And I think when you see what the platform's got to offer for $60 a quarter, it's a bargain. And the way that I have all the colors, it's not a bunch of flashing lights. It's not the dark background with the bold fluorescent greens and reds. When you look at a screen for 12 hours a day, those colors, they'll drive your eyes crazy eventually. I find my platform to be very easy on the eyes. It's something I enjoy using and looking at. So yes, please view these videos. If you've got any questions, you can always click live help. Be happy to answer them for you. That, I believe, is the end of the questions. Uh, well, actually, there's one more. What does a quarter mean? Is it April to May? Actually, it means 91 days. So when you sign up for a symbol, you're going to have 91 days to use it, which is 3 months. So at the end of the quarter, you'll auto renew. And again, for those of you who are contemplating getting on board, please go through the process. Use the test, find, buy, watch the videos. These videos will take you 2 minutes. Look at my favorites. Look at some of these trade signals that are out there, and you're going to be able to find some really nice stocks. I just clicked on Zillow. We caught that Zillow move right there. Look at that buy. That was about a Gosh, I think it was about a $20 overnight move. Look, beautiful short. Again, you're not going to see the last 30 days, but you're going to see some awesome trades, enough to know that these signals are dead eye. So I really hope to have you on board. I've done everything I can to make the new pricing model affordable for everyone. Sign up for the symbols you want. They go flat. You can change them. So easy to work with. So I hope to have you on board, and I look forward to having you as a future subscriber. Thank you. Have a good night.